Good evening. This is always a pleasure to be here on the evening that we get to induct the new Phi Theta Kappa members. These students have distinguished themselves with great academic achievement, and now they have the opportunity to become members of an organization that is committed to education, scholarship, and service in the community. So we will follow the program as scheduled. And first, I would like to introduce the stage party that is present here. We have two current members of our chapter, Matt Auberg and Katharina Heiler, who will be performing the induction ceremony of the new members. Then we have Ms. Anne-Marie Freeman, who is one of the advisors along with me, and Dr. Michael Helmick, who is the president. Mr. Andrew Swanson, who is sitting in the middle, will be our keynote speaker today, sharing some words of wisdom and inspiration to the inductees and the audience. So now I'll ask Dr. Helmick to welcome all of our guests here.
Thank you, Donata. I would like to welcome everybody to the 2013 Spring Induction Ceremony of the Alpha Chapter of the Phi Theta Kappa organization at Rockingham Community College. The first official welcoming duties that I performed as a president of RCC 2 years ago was the welcome for PTK. I think it is fitting that I performed that first duty for the organization that exemplifies academic excellence at two-year colleges. And I'm pleased to be here again 2 years later. To be a member of PTK, a student must have an outstanding academic record. A student must be enrolled in an associate's degree program and must maintain a 3.5 grade point average to become a member and to remain a member. Students must also demonstrate outstanding moral character and be invited to join the organization. PTK is not for everyone, but it is an attainable goal for the very hardworking and dedicated students. You should remember that each of you here tonight did not achieve this goal all by yourself. You had help from teachers, staff members, family, friends, and colleagues who assisted you in a number of ways as you persevered in your quest for academic and personal excellence. You should take the time tonight and over the next several days to say thank you to your support group. I also thank those of you in attendance tonight for your assistance in helping these students become the fine individuals they are, because they truly did not do it by themselves. On behalf of all the faculty and staff at Rockingham Community College, I congratulate this group of inductees. You have worked hard to earn the right to call yourself a member of PTK, and you should accept this responsibility with pride and continue to persevere in your efforts to attain that advanced degree. Thank you.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to introduce our speaker this evening. Andrew Swanson is an adjunct instructor at Rockingham Community College. He is an alumnus of this institution and a cum laude graduate of the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. He is a resident of Reidsville and is married to the love of his life, Missy Swanson, with whom he has 3 wonderful children, Elliot, Violet, and Oliver. Beyond his academic achievements, he is also a combat veteran. He enlisted into the Army in 2000 and served for 6 years and obtained the rank of Staff Sergeant, then served 1 year in the National Guard. He served in the 173rd Airborne and later in the 82nd Airborne. In that time, he deployed to Kosovo, Iraq, and Afghanistan. He participated in Northern Delay, or Operation Northern Delay, which is one of the largest combat jumps since World War II. His fiction is primarily based on his military experiences and has been recognized at the Lex Allen Literary Festival at Hollins University and awarded the Fiction Prize in 2012 by UNCG's Literary Magazine. He is the author of Beaten Zone, a collection of short stories, and is revising his debut novel. Please welcome Andrew Swanson.
Thank you for that kind introduction. Hi, my name is Andrew Swanson. I am an adjunct instructor here. I had the pleasure of being a student here as well. I believe it was in 2009 that Donato was my public speaking instructor. Now, don't worry, it's not going to be anything like that class. I'm not going to be singing the praises of Chuck Norris's mighty roundhouse kicks, nor will I be making the argument why Pluto needs to remain a planet. I will, however, say congratulations to you. You sit here tonight because you have achieved things that many people have not. You worked really hard to get where you are, and you deserve to be recognized. And when Dr. Rooster came to me and asked me if I would like to speak for PTK, I didn't even hesitate. It's so rare that we get time to take moments to recognize our fellow students and our peers, those who are on the path to education and greater understanding, to say, congratulations, you've done a great job. It's not easy getting to where you are. I know, I've been there. In fact, I remember taking a final for an algebra class. Who here likes math? Raise your hand. Good for you, good for you. It doesn't come so easy for me. I try very hard. I still have to count on my hands from time to time, wondering if I should take off my shoes or if that would be appropriate in class. No, it's not that bad. But I do remember waiting for the instructor to grade my midterm and wondering if I would have to withdraw from the course in order to save or salvage my class. I remember standing outside that door and just sweating, the cold sweat, feeling my heart palpitate. And I thought to myself, you know, I haven't been this nervous since March 26, 2003, when I stood in a C-17 waiting to jump into Iraq. And then I realized there's a lot of parallels between combat, serving in war, and a path in academia. Now, it's not as dangerous and the consequences aren't as severe, but at that basic fundamental level, there's still that worry, that anticipation, wondering if you're doing the right thing, wondering if you've made the right choices. You can wonder that for a while. In fact, even today, as we're on the eve of the 10th anniversary of the invasion of Iraq, I often wonder if I still have made the right choices, if I still did everything I could have done for the people of Iraq when I was there, if there's anything that I could do now. And yet here I am in this class talking to you about your own achievements. What I did was a good thing, I believe. There were many missions where we helped the civilians. We handed out water after it was reported that Saddam Hussein had poisoned Erbil's water supply. We provided food and aid. We healed the injured. And yet, I still wonder, was there something that was missing? And I find that is coupled from time to time with my own academic experience. There were times when there were classes that I feel like perhaps I should have taken, classes that might have been a little bit more challenging than I would have liked, but maybe much more rewarding. These things I will not know. These things you may be wondering yourself and may never know. But that's the point of academic success. Here tonight, it's not the end of the story. It's not the end of the journey. It's just a moment where you take pause and reflect on how far you've come and where you're going. This is a time when you get to look back and wonder, what have you learned and how can you apply it to the future? This is where you wonder, what dark corners have I not explored? What things have I not learned that I need to know before I move on? These moments are times for perspective, where you can gain greater understanding of just yourself and your own personal knowledge. And I am happy for moments like these. Let me tell you, in 2005, we went on a mission in Afghanistan where we were only supposed to be there for one day. We flew out in helicopters, we landed on a mountain, we walked about 10 miles to our objective. Searched and cleared a village, found nothing. I'm like, okay, time to go home. That's not how it works. We got a fragmentation order saying that, oh, well, the intelligence was wrong. Now we have to adjust and overcome. We need to go to the next village. By the way, that's another 15 miles away. And it became a wash and repeat for the next 4 days. In 4 days, we had walked 75 miles. Found nothing. Very little water, very little food. And I found myself in that time walking up and down the mountains of Afghanistan, and at a point where I stopped paying attention to my surroundings and just looking at the motion of my feet on the ground. I thought to myself, to get through this hard part of this journey was just to put one foot in front of the other until I got to the top of that mountain. Once I got to the top of the mountain, I can't tell you how rewarding it was. You hear news reports about how dangerous and deadly Afghanistan is, but I can't tell you how beautiful that country is when you're up above it looking down below, where the chaos doesn't seem so immediate. There's a moment of relief in that for me. Where you think that it's mostly desert, but once you're on top, you can see all the lush and verdant growth below. You can see where the streams run and turn desert into blessed land. This is your moment, where you can stand above your peers, you can stand above everything that you crawled through to get to where you are, where you can look back and you can see all the wonderful and brilliant things that you've done. And believe me, you've earned it. So I just want to say thank you for having me here tonight. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my story. Thank you for letting me praise you, because what you have done deserves praise. It's not easy getting to where you are, but you did it. Now, before you leave here tonight, you need to remember that this isn't the end of the journey. There's still more to know. There's still more to do. All of these tools that your professors and instructors have provided you with, now you need to apply them. You need to take them to the profession that you're going to and make that a better place. That's why we learn. We're not here for the simple manufacturing of knowledge. We create new knowledge as we build it. Because in fact, you are artisans, and this is your art. Thank you.
Honored President Helmick, advisors, and fellow Phi Theta Kappa members, I am pleased to present to you these candidates for membership in our honor society. These students have fulfilled all requirements for membership and have been selected because they have been chosen scholarship, leadership, service, and fellowship as their hallmarks. I recommend them for the acceptance in the Alpha Kappa Pi chapter of Phi Theta Kappa International Honor Society of the two-year college. You are about to be inducted into a scholarly fellowship which embraces two-year colleges not only of your own state, but of the nation and the worldwide. This fellowship is Phi Theta Kappa, and your chapter is Alpha Kappa Pi. After induction, you will find among the members an atmosphere of scholarships to which you must give of yourself in order that the organization may be meaningful to you. A William Shakespearean quote once described the inductees state, "Be not afraid of greatness. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them." On the table is a torch, symbolic of knowledge, which is the servant of wisdom, which dwells with prudence and leads in the way of righteousness in the midst of the path of judgment. The white roses represent purity of beauty, with its white buds signifying intellectual association. The emblem of Phi Theta Kappa consists of golden slabs keyed at the top and bottom.
You have studied the constitution of this organization, the purpose of which is to foster a spirit of devotion to study and to scholarly ideals among its members. Now that the standards and ideals of this organization have been fully revealed to you, you come to complete the pledge which admits you into complete fellowship. Please stand. Repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly promise to uphold the standards of Phi Theta Kappa and to keep this object and aim in mind. And I do solemnly pledge allegiance to my fellow members and promise to aid them in all worthy endeavors. Catherine Bailey. Catherine from Eden will receive her degree in business administration. She plans to continue her education with a bachelor's degree in business management. Catherine would like to thank her father, mother, and sister. Mona Wood Cusano. Mona is from Reidsville and is majoring in business administration and accounting. She plans to attend Guilford College, obtain her master's degree, and teach at the college level. Rhonda K. Hopper. Rhonda from Reidsville will receive her degree in business administration. After graduation, she plans to work towards owning and operating her own business in Rockingham County. Rhonda would like to thank her parents, Pat and Steve Hopper, for encouraging her to go back to school, her best friend, Cindy Norton, for standing behind her all the way, and her daughter, Alyssa Hurst, for support when she needed it. Kayla Danielle Keene. Kayla is from Greensboro and will receive her degree in nursing. After graduation, she plans to become a traveling nurse. Kayla would like to thank her mother, her father, her grandmother, and everyone else in her family who was there for inspiration and help along the way. Michelle Langley. Michelle is from Reidsville and will receive her degree from RCC in accounting. After graduation, she plans to pursue her career in accounting and further her education. Michelle would like to thank her parents, Frank and Charlotte Sipe, her husband, Don Langley Jr., her children, Benjamin Langley and Brooke McKinney, and her pastor and his wife, Pastor Craig and Tammy Cox. Jeanette Nuskern. Jeanette is from Reidsville and will receive her associate's degree in accounting. She plans to further her education by pursuing a bachelor's degree in accounting and beginning her career in this field. Jeanette would like to thank Jim Nuskern, Jamie Nuskern, Wanda Sparks, Ron and Nancy Henderson, and Susan Mansfield. Anthony Ratliff. Anthony from Stoneville is majoring in computer science and information technology. His plans are to obtain a bachelor's degree in computer science and continue in employment within the information technology field that has so adamantly been his passion. Anthony would like to thank his parents, Nancy G. Ratliff and Raymond D. Ratliff, both of which have always encouraged him to be everything he is capable of. It is my pleasure to welcome you into Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society and the lively fellowship of scholars it affords. I salute you for your accomplishment. I charge you to explore always for truth and to dedicate yourselves to the cultivation of the well-reasoned life, a prelude to service and honor.